You are an instrument of God, and your life is the song. You see, all of our problems come from the same one source. When we are in tune, the song of our life is beautiful. It is melodic. It is harmonious. But when we are out of tune, then the song of our life becomes dissonant. It becomes ugly. Nobody wants to listen to that. There is suffering, and there is problems, and there is a never-ending stream of things you do not like. And so, the first question you want to ask yourself is, are you too tight or are you too loose? No, seriously. Is your energy too uptight? Are you too stiff, too robotic? Or is your energy too loose, too lethargic? You don't feel like doing much? Biologically, or because of conditioning, you will naturally fall into one category or the other. And if you are too tight, you will always be too anxious. You will make the wrong decision at the wrong time. You will be offbeat with the flow of life. So your job is to slow down. Relax. Take it easy on yourself. Don't be so rigid and trying to force things to be the way that you want them to be. And if your energy is too slow, too loose, then it is your job to ramp things up, move your body, do things, take action, get the motors running, because in this state, you need to build momentum to get back into the flow of harmony. And your energy might fluctuate day to day. So when you find yourself lethargic, not feeling like doing much, see if you can just begin to move. It doesn't matter so much what you do. It just matters that you begin doing this. And if you find yourself being too anxious, too all over the place, go and meditate and slow your breath down and just let go for a moment. And that will help you get back in tune. Now we might see that God's divine song is already playing by itself. Do you see the harmony of nature, the harmony of existence itself, the flow of life? And so what happens is that we fall out of this flow, the flow that has already been established. And that is where all of our trouble arises from. That is why human beings are destroying the planet. We are destroying ourselves. Our minds, our intellect, cause us to become out of harmony with the flow of things. And when we are out of harmony, we create death and destruction. And so it is our minds that are responsible for taking us out of the harmony of the flow of life. And so what you find is that life can only be experienced in the present moment. And so the more we're thinking about the past, the more we're ruminating about the future, the more we are separated from life. And when we are separated from life, we grow closer to death. And so we become vessels for death, and that death goes out and causes death in the world. So much death. So too, when you restore balance and harmony within yourself, you become a force of light and harmony in the world. And you do good things. And so right now, the fate of the world is in your hands. It is in the hands of all individuals. Because we cast our vote every day of what kind of world do we want to live in. One that is harmonious and beautiful, or one that is ugly. You see, what you find is that the greatest moments of your life happen when you are in a flow state. What does this mean? Well, in a flow state, your mind is not a problem. You see, our mind is like a resistance valve to the flow of life within us. A lot of people are so uptight and restricted and constricted. And you know when somebody is constricted when you look at them, and they're stiff and they're unable to speak and they are unable to express themselves. It is because their mind has a grip on them. And the main purpose of the mind is to give us a sense of autonomy, a sense of individuality. And this can be a wonderful thing. The problem is that the illusion of this world is separation, and the highest truth is unity. So the more we act and think from a place of separation, the more we fall into illusion and out of harmony with the flow of life. And the more we think and act from a place of unity, the more we reestablish our place in harmony with life. And when you are in a flow state, there is no sense of individuality. You lose track of time and you are completely rooted in the present moment. But contrast this when you are in your mind about things, when there's a never-ending stream of thoughts about the past or the future. There's worry and there's fear and there's negativity. And this takes you out of the present moment and gets you lost in the chaos, the madness of your own mind. What you will find is that your body is telling you every moment of every day how close you are to truth or how close you are to illusion. There are two polarities in which we exist in. There is the truth and there is illusion. There is light and there is darkness. There is heaven and there is hell. And the closer you get to heaven, the more peace, the more joy, the more love you experience on a daily basis. And the more you draw closer to hell, the more suffering, pain, problems, and struggle you experience. And everybody on earth is somewhere in between. And what will determine our place in between these two polarities is how in tune or in alignment we are. And so life is essentially a game of inner engineering, where we are tuning all the different aspects of ourselves to get us in alignment with all that is true and good. So the trick is that when you begin listening, when you become aware of how you feel on a daily basis, you begin listening to your body. Your body will tell you, yes, we are on the right path, or no, you are on the wrong path. And you will feel a certain way based off of the thoughts that you have. So your thoughts may be unconscious. You may not actually know all the thoughts that are passing through your mind, but you will most certainly pay attention to how you feel. So if suddenly you start feeling bad, you know that you have been having thoughts of separation, thoughts of fear and negativity. And that is a call from within that is saying, it's time to alter your course. And the way you do this is that you get into a flow state, because your suffering, your feelings of negativity is a result of being out of the present moment. And so you must find a way to get back in to the present moment, which is also the flow of life. And so the more you are in the flow of life, the more you stabilize in harmony. And the more you are out of the present moment and always in your mind, thinking all the time, all of these thoughts, the more you will experience never-ending suffering. So when you start feeling negative, use this as a trigger to go engage in something in the world. Engage in any kind of task that is in front of you, because this will automatically get you into a flow state. The most obvious and the easiest way to get into the present moment is through exercise. If you go for a walk, if you go for a jog, if you go to the gym, you can automatically get yourself back into the present moment and into a flow state. You can begin circulating the life energy within you, and you can rise to higher states of vibration, higher states of consciousness. And what that means is that you become more in alignment with the highest truth. Because heaven, you might think, as the highest rate of vibration, and hell is the lowest. And so if your song is not beautiful at this moment, know that you have all the power within you to change that, to live a beautiful life full of beautiful experiences. But you must see that life is being filtered through you. So all of the information in here is going to be projected out into the world, and that is what you will experience. So step by step, you must tune yourself, all of the aspects of your personality, of who you are as a person. You begin aligning these different aspects of yourself with the highest truth, with unity, and away from separation. But the good thing is that when we enter into a state of harmony, all that is out of harmony disappears. So all problems, all difficulties, all the aspects of ourselves that are not in harmony with life, these automatically begin falling away once we enter into the flow of life. Because the only reason they existed in the first place is because we were out of harmony. And so once we bring harmony back into the equation, they work themselves out. So it's not like we have to go back and spend years trying to fix ourselves, but rather all problems, all dissonance fixes itself simply by returning back into the state of harmony. And so when you feel negative, when you feel out of tune with life, realize that it is most often our thoughts that pull us out of the present moment and separate us from the flow of life. And that the remedy is to return back into a flow state by engaging in something in the world. Whether that's exercise, whether that's creating art, having a conversation with a friend or anybody. Anything that gets you to focus on what is in front of you and that takes you out of your mind. And if you are aware of the type of energy you are experiencing, whether you're too loose or you're too tight, you know what to do to get yourself back into the flow of life, whether slowing down or whether speeding up. It's all about energy management and returning to harmony with life. And in doing this, one by one as individuals, we begin creating a more loving and harmonious world, free from so much suffering.